Right. Welcome back to another episode of my movie review series, episode 300. Yeah, man. I guess you could say this is another milestone. I don't know. But yeah, last week I said that I was going to come back and do a review on a movie that has 300 in the title. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're going to do a movie review series and you get up to 300 episodes and you have not yet covered the movie 300, I mean, this is the most best opportunity to do so. So yeah, you know, work my way all the way up to this. Here it is, man. 300 on the 300th episode. All right. But yeah, man, 300, 2007, you know, Gerard Butler, when he became Gerard Butler, you know, you gotta say it like that, because this movie, almost every time he spoke a line, he put that throat in there. I mean, this movie was one of the most quoted movies, man. I tell you, this movie. I mean, you think of 300, what do you think of? This is Sparta. And yes, I did the kick. But yeah, man, this movie, one of the most quoted movies. I mean, you know, if this is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die. Oh man, yeah, I tell you, yeah, Gerard Butler's in this. This movie made him into the star that he is. Lena Headey, before she did Game of Thrones, I think a year before the Sarah Connor Chronicles, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles came out, I think. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'll tell you, Lena Headey in this movie, though, I mean, as strong, sexy, and powerful as she is in this movie, she took those aspects and threw it over to Game of Thrones as Cersei Lannister. But, but yeah, David Wenham and Dominic West, just to name a few. But yeah, man, this movie, though, like I said, Gerard Butler, he became the star in this movie. Okay, he was everywhere afterwards. But yeah, this movie though, you know, based off a Frank Miller graphic novel. Frank Miller and Lynn Varley, based off of their graphic novel 300, and of course the movie is directed by Zack Snyder. So you got Frank Miller and Zack Snyder doing something together. This is going to be the adaptation of all adaptations. But yeah, what a bloodfest this movie was, though. I mean, what a bloodfest, what a gore fest. I mean, Jesus. Not to sound British, but this movie was one bloody good time. Okay. But yeah, man, I tell you, great stuff, man. Great stuff to come out this movie. I mean, you got it all. I mean, yeah, you got sex and violence, more violence than the sex. But when it comes to the violence, you know, it comes at you tenfold. I mean, man, like I said, what a bloodfest this movie was. I mean, even even on the graphic, whether it's the opening or the closing credits, you get blood splattered everywhere. The number 300 graphic on the screen, blood splattered. But yeah, this movie though, great stuff to come out of it. You know, a lot of historians, because this movie is based off of the story is based off of legend. You know, this movie is based off of Frank Miller graphic novel, but the story is based off of legend, and a lot of historians would like to challenge this legend to see if parts of it was right and parts of it was accurate, parts of it was false. But considering the fact that this movie is based off of a graphic novel, that's what I'm focusing on. I don't care about legend for the historians to have fun with. You know, you know. This is the movie review series, not the History Channel. So yeah, man. Yeah, you see these guys in action. These Spartans. A lot of muscle in this movie. Also, a lot of muscle. You know, even though you see a Spartan warrior, he is covered in armor. These guys, they're like bare chested. The target area is right here. Come and get them. But yeah, all of these cats, all of these bad motherfuckers, all around. 300 against an armada, pretty much, of Xerxes' Persians army, army of Persian warriors. And yeah, none of those motherfuckers could handle these 300 motherfuckers right here. You know, you know, Xerxes, the God King, got all these piercings and shit like that. They're all over him. And this dude is like 9 feet tall. And he don't even got some real strong badass motherfuckers to take on only 300, exactly 300 of these guys. I mean, he got I guess you could call them a team. He got a team of warriors named the Immortals, and yeah, the 300 Spartans. They want to put that name to the test. And yeah, those Immortals. They got a few stabs here and there, but those damn Spartans with their superior fighting skills, they took out each and every single one of those ninja motherfuckers. no, they took out each and every single one of those cats. Hell, even their enforcer, this chain slave, yeah, yeah, they cut the chains off, and he went straight for Leonidas, Gerard Butler's character. Yeah, he went straight for him. Okay, yeah, he wanted the boss right then and there. And yeah, Leonidas hell, he gave him a hell of a fight. Yeah, this big motherfucker, he proved that yeah, he proved how tough he was. But Leonidas, he got more of this up here than this right here. And he showed him that he had a lot of this, and he showed him in that fight, boy. Yeah. But yeah, I tell you, great shit though. And speaking of Leonidas, you know, This movie has a lot of great moments, and one moment from Leonidas from day one, basically day one of the war that went down. You know, yeah, the Spartans. They took out a nice little wave, the first wave of the Persians that were coming at them. Yeah, yeah, they had their shields and their spears. Persians charged at them. Yeah, they pushed back, gave them a good stab with the spear, put the shield right back in front. Yeah, next wave come in, boom, they pushed them back, gave them a few stabs. Yeah, and then yeah, they're trampling over the dead while they're going through each wave after wave, and then Leonidas, you just break through, and he's like a one-man barrage. You gotta see this shit in slow motion, and and even if you know a Zack Snyder film, he can make slow motion look very very cool. Not as cool as John Woo, but close enough. I'll tell you that. So yeah, Leonidas, one man, a one-man army going through a few Persians, and man, yeah, with that big ass shield, he working through him with the spear. Yeah, took that spear, threw it like a javelin, took out one cat, takes out his sword, and he just starts slicing through him. You know, one cat come over, throws him over with the shield, slice through another one. You know, slicing through him, blocking with the shield. Yeah, I love the part when you know, he just smacked the dude, smacked the shit out of him with the shield. Like a wall. Like he just ran right into a wall. And he just falls to the ground. If you get Leonidas just walking up to him, slam that sword right into him. Man, slam that sword right into him. Yeah, and he looks up and you see more of those Persians up ahead, head up on him. And here come the other Spartans, they got their formation going. Yeah, shield up. Yeah, spear right there, or sword right there. Yeah, they just drove them to the cliffs. Yeah, they give them something to drink. Yeah, they drove them to the cliffs, then drove them off the cliff. Oh man, this movie though, it's just real. It is truly an epic. It's truly a war epic, even though yeah, it's pretty much a war film. Even though it's not a traditional war film, it's still military based. It's still military based. It's a yeah, you can call it an epic historical action film, but still, yeah, it's a war film. You know, so this movie is about war. It's a yeah retellings of Battle of Demo Them Thermopylae Them Thermopylae yeah Thermopylae in the Persian Wars. But yeah, it's a war film. Even though it's a epic historical action film. Yeah, it's still a war film at heart. And yeah, you see a lot of you see a lot of action sequences. I mean, hell, they even brought man, they even brought armor an armored rhino that didn't do shit, and armored elephants that didn't do shit. Even they even brought them into it. And yeah, Xerxes, his forces is just not compatible with these 300 soldiers, and then you got their allies, the Arcadians, who are pretty much weekend warriors because they don't fight by trade. They fight as a substitute for whatever else they're doing. I mean, one is an artist. He sculpts. Another one does pottery, and there's another one that he's basically a, a shoe salesman. He's a shoe man. He's a blacksmith. He makes the shoe for horses. So yeah. They're not really soldiers. They're not really fighters. They're brawlers. They'll put their armor on. They'll get their sword. They'll get their spears, and they'll do their part. Yeah, they're just the weekend warriors. But yeah, we got the 300 though. The Spartans, the real warriors, the real fighters, the real soldiers in this huge war. And yeah, they're the ones that kick ass for a living. Spartans. What is your profession? Aru, aru, aru. You know, yeah. All they do is fight all day. You know, they know how to kick ass and they do it very well. You know, but yeah. This movie is 100% delivered though. It 100% delivered. And yeah, Zack Snyder. Whether it's not a remake or um an adaptation. You know, well, that's something that he is. Yeah, whether it's not a remake, it's an adaptation. But yeah, that's something that he is mostly known for. And the excessive slow motion, especially if it's a 4 hour movie like Justice League. I mean, hey, yeah, you see why that movie is 4 hours if you watched it. His version of Justice League. You see why that's 4 hours if you watched it. But yeah, he'll do the slow mo thing and he'll do it like yeah, he'll do it masterfully. But yeah, man, this movie 300. This is like I said, this movie it delivers on every single scale, all aspects. You know, and yeah, this movie, even though these guys went to war, they did not come out of it unscathed. As a matter of fact, the very few of them that have stayed in the fight, they all died. Spoiler alert. Yeah, they all died. But this story was told anyway. And yeah, even though King Leonidas and his brethren, they all died. They all sacrificed themselves and proved that Xerxes, this God King, proved that he can bleed himself. Yeah, man, just go in the back and check on yourself. I mean, that shit's gonna leave a scar anyway. But yeah, yeah, spirit cut right through your face. And he just holding himself. Yeah, pretty boy. Yeah, just go in the back. Go in the back, look in the mirror. Yeah, patch that shit up, sew it up. It's gonna leave a scar. You ain't pretty no more. But yeah, even though all that happened, yeah, those guys died, but this story was told anyway. And with that being told, yeah, Yeah, the High Council, they call for reinforcements. Not only that, there are 10,000 Spartans, but there is 30,000 Greeks backing them up. They got their own armada now. And yeah, a year later, they're going to charge into action against the Persian Empire, taking out everybody, in the process. But that is for another story in another time. But I'm not going to talk about that one. Sorry. But yeah, man, this movie, though, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Straight up, 5 out of 5, You know, and Zack Snyder, he did his thing. Well, yeah, man, that's my review, Jack, and I'm sticking to it. Now, next week is going to be pre-taped. As a matter of fact, the next 2 weeks is going to be pre-recorded. And yeah, I'm going back into the horror field. Next week, Stephen King, he puts out an original story, not adapted for anything that he wrote. It's original. It's an original story. Cats everywhere, and you got these um, monsters individuals that have to deal with all these cats everywhere. Actual cats too, not just the slang that I use for three. Did I say cats in this? No, I said motherfuckers. But yeah, not just the slang that I use for 299 reviews. But yeah, man, I tell you, yeah, that's next week. So yeah, check out this shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. But in the meantime, in between time, Jack, episode 300. Let's see what 301 is about, and 302 and 303 and so on and so forth throughout the rest of this year, because this show is off.